All right, YouTube stream is live. All right. So Leo, what's your name? Do I call you Leo? Um, all right. Currently just streaming uh, the Discord screen. Um, I guess I can leave the stage and come back, but hi Drew. Testing 1 2 3. Ayush, can you hear me now? Hmm. No fun. Is that a yes or no?
I can hear on the YouTube video, but not here.
Discord doesn't quit when you tell it to quit. That is obnoxious. I hate Discord. Hate you, Discord. You closed piece of junk. All right, can you hear me now?
Hello?
Yeah, I quit Discord and came back. Still can't hear me?
Yeah, yeah. I can hear you now.
Okay. I don't know if you want to try to tackle Big Blue Button. The it's never run on ARM. I think they explicitly say they don't support ARM. I don't think Dub Bootstrap is really an issue. Like running it without root, you can either do fake root or
Yeah, technically, it seems to be possible using fake root, but it breaks some symlinks internally. So I was trying to do it. In RCIs, I'm pretty sure we use like it with super user since I can see that in the script.
yeah. Which script are you looking at that even needs Dub Bootstrap, right? Because I mean, you should just be able to start from YouTube. I'm sorry, Ubuntu images. Oh, you're trying to do the
Uh,
image builder. Okay.
yeah,
Uh, okay, nothing to do with Big Blue Button. All right, this is about image building. Um,
yeah, I was.
well, that's a good thing for us to chat about because ultimately, I know this is all about the Zephyr experience, but part of that is how do we produce a Debian image that includes all these features. So I think that's working towards the same goal. Um, yeah, I tried to do a very different approach for just doing an SD card building with fake root and gin image, but I haven't been able to make this for some reason this wasn't bootable, and I haven't. I got to find a serial cable again. But I've been just kind of playing with um, taking Docker images and turning the root FSs into bootable images by copying the different boot files into the FAT partition. Um, so so you're trying to so this is you're saying to run this script you have to have root.
Yeah, it cannot be run from like inside Docker, even using sudo actually. So you need to be on
Hmm.
a base system.
What is it doing?
So the dev bootstrap script itself, for some reason, it creates some entries under dev, It also mounts dev null and some stuff to the fake root
Okay,
and
it's
a lot of
doing
stuff.
some mounts, and that's in some of
Yeah,
these
it's some
subscripts,
mounts
right?
and some dummy devices creation.
So did you try the fake chroot?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying right now. Most of the stuff online seems to use unshare, which I'm not familiar with. So I was looking at that.
I'm sorry, you said it's what on unshare?
Uh, yeah.
What is un?
So it's something that it's also for like fake root stuff, but inside Docker containers. Uh,
Yeah. So what? Your so Podman unshare, that's going to be Alpine, right?
what? Why would it be Alpine?
Or Arch, sorry, Arch Linux. Podman's going to be Arch Linux, isn't it? It's not going to be. It's not Debian.
No, Podman is
Oh,
like Docker, just non-root, rootless Docker.
oh, it's an
It's
okay.
from Red Hat, I think.
Okay, it's just a Docker variant. Okay, so it runs on Fedora and others. Uh,
Yeah,
okay, not
the
from. Haven't really done
Podman
much.
itself.
Never done anything really with Podman.
Yeah, since I use Fedora, it's much easier to use Podman instead of getting Docker to work.
Okay. So is this a particular image? Is unshare an image?
No, it's a command, I think. Okay, permission denied. Hmm.
So I've
Yeah.
so um, this is building a um,
So the link I shared is like building Debian rootfs from inside either Podman. I think it's a Podman container, but it not seem to work as I hoped. I would like the script to work on normal systems as well, right?
we've got a Docker and Docker. I'm sorry, I'm not able to. Thinking about too many things at once, I didn't really follow what you were saying. So um,
I am not trying to use any specific GitLab runner. I am trying to build it locally inside a container without root first.
but it looks like this should work, right?
Uh, the link that's building it in Docker setup, so it could work inside a CI. But I was thinking of something that's also reproducible on like other systems to get like custom Debian image
Sure.
somewhat easily. Yeah.
Um, sorry, my my workspace is a spinning disk that goes to sleep. It's just a bulk disk that. Um, all right. Um, so I don't know if I have. I know I have. I should have fake root. Um, yeah. So this is a Ubuntu 2404 machine. Um, so if we want to do something like just get just get a I don't know what the bare rootfs is, right? But that should give a bare rootfs, right? Um,
Yeah.
no, I just want to do.
Oh, it's working on your system. I mean, it's going much further than mine.
Okay. I mean, mine is an Ubuntu image, but I mean, this should run inside of any container as well. So, right, we should be. I mean, at least if I put an Ubuntu container together, or probably, you know, any other number of systems that have fake root and fake chroot, and debootstrap. I don't know if your debootstrap was bad.
Okay, yeah, yeah. It's
So
it waits.
it's arc. It's doing a specific arch, right? So I need to specify the arch.
Yeah, I'm specified. It stops at couldn't download. Uh, Wait, maybe I was trying to build Bookworm. Uh,
Maybe I should have done Bookworm's newer than Bullseye, right?
yeah, I mean from the Debian side, Bookworm, the Debian 12, I think.
Yeah, I just want stable. Yeah, I did an old one. We've got a root FS. So two things kind of wrong here, which are let's just put this in a shell file. I want bookworm, right? Actually, can I just say stable here?
Uh, I I think so. Maybe it will work though. Wait, is it not called ARM 64? Maybe it's called something else.
ARch64? I think it's ARch64.
I mean, it fails when I don't specify arch, and it was trying for AMD 64 by default. So I don't think that's the problem here.
Maybe AMD 64. ARM 64. All right.
Yeah.
Um, how do I do everything? I don't do enough sed on the command line. Oh, did it not output anything to command doesn't accept any addresses?
Maybe my college network has blocked this particular URL for some reason. I don't think that should be it.
I just want to get. Neither one of them had any. Probably just. I don't do enough command line foo. There we go. Yeah, nice. I didn't do any of that stuff. Yeah. All right. So I just got all my help file stuff here. I don't so keyring. So variant fake to root. Let's stick to all the other defaults. You can it goes as a make tarball. That would be really handy for just doing gen. Like if you wanted to just do gen image.
Yeah.
Going straight to a tarball, right, is probably gonna make life easier. But I don't know if it's actually installed tarballs or just a tarball of the debs. Acquire debs. Oh, yeah, I think that's making a deb of tarballs. That's not helping.
Maybe I should spin up an Ubuntu container.
All right, let's try this. And I can put this in a CI, and I can add this to my I don't know. I still want my make bootable thing. So that would mean we'd have to rewrite. We should fork this script, right? Fork this this one, and but he's got some. He's calling other scripts in here, right?
Yeah. This is just one part of the whole process.
Because this isn't actual to bootstrap, right? This is not. Okay, so in script stages, scripts. was that one? It's bootstrap first stage. I don't see the bootstrap first stage. So where is it pulling that from? The bootstrap first stage. Check define. So
It
source.
never runs that script. It's just like echoing that it's trying to do something with it. So maybe this script itself was called
Ah, okay, okay,
Bootstrap. Yeah.
okay. That was maybe used to create this or something. Um, what of this do we actually need? So it's just here. It's just running to bootstrap and the options. Sweet target mirror. So what's target? That's just the temporary directory. That's the target directory. So this is not doing much. There's some mirror setting. Because he's got some optimization where he's doing some proxying. Options. Sets arch. No check GPG and no check certificate. I don't know that if we have to do that. There's some includes, right? So we includes, excludes, components, and I think that's all coming from all these includes, excludes, components, and variants. All those options are coming out of the .project file. Is that right? Like deb
Maybe
include.
I will.
It's going to be coming out of this .project file. Here's deb include, right? So he's got it all organized where with his shell script that he's reading these in. And there's some extra settings, the rootfs settings. So some of these they're not using in the bootstrap though, right? Some of them get used later. And some of them point to things that really need to be packaged, right? So a lot of these RFS stuff, these settings, are essentially unpackaged customizations.
Yeah.
And those get applied where? So what's the top level script here?
So at the top of the repo, there is root stock -ng script.
Okay, and this calls the bootstrap.
Yeah.
Roostock. It's Roostock. So it reads the .project file. So I mean, probably need to rewrite this script. I don't know about install dependencies. And then runs the chroot. that might do a lot of the customizations within the chroot. I think that's what that's doing. So runs 3 scripts. First install dependencies. That's host dependencies, so let's not manage those in the script here. I'm sure that's great for cloning, getting stuff set up. That's nice, but we can skip that. So we do bootstrap, and then the chroot here is going to be another step to take. So it's mounting. Let's go. Usually puts these down at the bottom, right? That's out of. That's not in a. Okay, this is a long one.
Yeah, the scripts are pretty long.
I mean, they've grown over years, right? If we look at the history on this, right? I think it's. Is there a way to scroll to the bottom? Many years.
Yeah.
Let's see what the oldest line is. 8 years ago. 11 years ago. 11 years plus, so all right, so the bootstrap, right, is not something actually used anymore, so but first it gets the settings, and then we have to skip the check define, skip all these function definitions. All right, then it actually does something depending on the architecture. It might run QEMU if it has to cross, and it's, what is it, copies QEMU static into what's probably a live temporary root file system. Let's see if we can avoid that. At least like in a Docker level, if we do it inside of like a Docker container, you can run QEMU at the Docker level. All right, BuildX does a QEMU at the container level.
Yeah.
So is this the actual? I think this might be the actual the bootstrap, right? Second stage? No.
That's second stage.
What is second stage? Failure trying to run chroot.
Okay, second stage flag, complete the bootstrapping process. Other arguments are not generally needed.
Could not open. Oh, because it's trying to chroot it there. I'm totally Dr. filing this. How do you start with a blank Docker file? Scratch. I don't want to start with the blank Docker file. I want to start with Ubuntu from Ubuntu 24. Actually, you know what? I want to start with Debian Bullseye. But I need to. I'll run this under Arch.
Wouldn't Bookworm be better?
Oh yeah, I keep doing that. So
Yeah.
it's nice to work together. What's the name of my script? Make rootfs. Yeah, my container and a container thing is going to get crazy here, isn't it? Does this make sense to do in a Docker file? I was just trying to take advantage of like I could do build X and run QEMU inside here, so this actually runs as, I don't know, does that make sense? Am I shifting architectures at the right point? Because it tried to do the chroot, right? Because here he got around it by copying QEMU over early, I think.
Yeah. So the particular error that you seem to be having seems to be from chroot instead of, I mean, fake root, because that can mess up the symlinks. I just read about it. I haven't like reproduced it or anything on my machine, but the link I provided it said that some of the symlinks like binaries and stuff get messed up when you are using fake root.
It's not very descriptive comment. Binaries get messed up.
Yeah. So symlinks cannot be resolved basically, or something like that. Let me find the exact command. Okay, yeah, fake root works by overloading the. So, as it happens, these limitations include rewrites of absolute symlinks by prefixing them with the paths of the faked chroot. As a result, within chroot, you will find links that are broken when actually chrooting, and such as when you would use that directory hierarchy as a root file system. Okay, so this portion is what I'm talking about. Let me just post it. I've sent what I was talking about in Discord chat.
Um,
Like, I'm not 100% sure if it is like the same error, but it might be related. You can like try reading
so the fake,
inside.
yeah, so the fake chroot is giving the wrong path because it's giving a path to in in here. It's giving this slash lib instead of the home work, all that.
Yeah,
When it comes to doing a read link, um, so it can't full read link apparently. Um, links are broken actually. So we're fine with relative symlinks, but absolute symlinks will break in the fake cheroot. So you're saying I need to
I mean, like,
modify the. Um,
I mean, there are no like solutions provided, even in the deb, like what is it, deb bootstrap tool repo. It says that the fake root thing will break like after as well in other stages because the script requires access to proc, sys, dev, and some etc stuff in the base system, which need to be mounted on the container as well due to it. And but it seems that the person was like trying to who reported the issue just gave up in that case as well.
okay. Um, so what they did. Um, Okay, I don't know why this is with the hash marks. Maybe Podman, I don't know. We decided it was safe to fake the use of cheroot while using.
Okay, Podman unshare drops me down at some weird container thing. What is it? Podman unshare help. Okay, run a command in a modified user space namespace.
Button came off my keyboard. So they make the tarball. But what do
So
they?
they seem to be doing the like actual rootfs creation outside of the container and then
Yeah,
bringing
yeah.
it inside the container. Yeah. And unshare basically is creating a fake namespace, but not a full root environment. But which it does mean that you need the dependencies on your main system. You just might be able to work around
Well, if
using
I can,
sudo.
but if I can work around using sudo, I can use a container to build it. So it's like if I can build it in a container, then like there's none of these commands you couldn't run inside of a container. Um,
So I cannot run podman unshare inside a podman container, but maybe I can do that inside the Docker container. So if you have podman installed inside a Docker container, maybe you could use it inside a container.
Oh, I feel like when we came back to this, we were looking at some other problem. Support architecture, the bin format, that's the link. Um, this approach might help. So I still don't know how he's doing the, like where he builds his SD card image, and I don't know what second stage means. Yeah.
Uh, so it seems to be like the dev bootstrap utility itself has multiple stages of building, but like the documentation and the help page is not particularly useful on what that is.
Run second stage in a subdirectory instead of root. Oh, but it's used to create a foreign root. Oh, I probably need that, right? Since it's a foreign. Okay,
Yeah,
so it splits it up instead of trying to run it, right? Failure to run. Um, Silly, I've got to open the other window. All right. So we want to do. Start with this, right? We want to start with. We're going to need QEMU or something else to run the seconds. Um, I don't know what it means by require second stage. It's not a valid option.
its second stage option is present. Uh, at least I can see it after manning, like in the man page of the bootstrap.
It's in the man page.
Yeah,
Do the initial unpack phase of bootstrapping only. Okay. So what I want is foreign, not. I don't need a second stage target. At least not for that stage. Okay, let's. It makes the directory, right? Um, yeah. So this one should just make the. Should just now make the directory. I mean, and not try to run all the post-inst scripts. I think what's going on is the post-inst, right, needs to run in the architecture. Right. So now it's got this. All right. So now that I've done that, I need to do. What is the so file? It's a shell script. I don't know what the. I'm trying to figure out if I need to run that as a binary. I would think that's going to run. Ooh, what's the difference between QEMU system AR64 and ARM64?
There is ARM64 and AR60.
Yep. And
Maybe I guess man both of them.
so we use foreign. It puts a copy of Bootstrap sufficient for copy. You can run it with second stage option. So, but I think
On
it's
Fedora, there is only AR64, QEMU system AR64. There is no ARM64.
hmm.
I'm not sure why Ubuntu has. Maybe one is a symlink.
So I don't know that I needed to make a first directory. I don't know if it's splitting it or anything like that. But I want to do a fake chroot of I want to set the directory and then the command, right? Where's how come the directory isn't an argument? It's just a dash, it's just command. Runs a command in the environment. Well, don't you specify the directory to be root? So what's the arguments to something like this, like where I'm running, I don't know, so
Maybe we can refer the scripts themselves from Robert.
well, but Robert's doing it a totally different way, right? Isn't he? Because he's not using fake chroot.
Yeah, but he is using QEMU for this step, right?
He copies it into the file system, it looks like,
Oh, yeah, right.
which might be okay. did it take it as an argument to? What meeting am I missing? All right, no big deal. Well, it wants a disk image. When it's system, it wants a disk image. So I don't want system, right? Because I need the chroot to be in that location, right? Yeah, it's not a binary. All right. So what else did this process do? Right. So this one here, they didn't do a two-stage. They're not doing cross architecture, right? They're doing same architecture.
I mean, Deb Bootstrap can do cross architecture, but yeah, they are doing same architecture.
Well, I think that's the problem that we're running into here. Um, um, right, because now if I want to run the to bootstrap second stage, right, I have to be in the architecture.
Yeah, there did exist a tool at some point for cross architecture, but like it has been abandoned, so we probably cannot use that.
So if we made we can make a Docker container from scratch, right?
Yeah.
And we can put the bootstrap in it. So when I see this add, is that an extraction? I don't know if bash actually gets installed. Probably not. So do we have a rootfs? We should have. I didn't. I don't think I tarballed it up. um, Is that gonna... Oh, I need to change directories, don't I? Cannot specify more than one of C. Oh, why do I have X? Huh. Why do I have X in there? CV, what was I thinking? Alright. Right. It's going to come up funny architecture here. So how do I look at the contents of a Docker file?
Like which Docker file?
I just made one. With that rootfs that we made.
Okay, yeah. Run it bin bash bin sh, actually, not bash.
Yeah, I put a command in for the default, right? So I don't remember what I think my question was just how do I look at the contents?
Yeah, just running the container like you
Yes,
are,
this should
I
fail.
think.
This invariant requires fake root environment to be started. Am I not in a? Well, I'm in a. Why does it say that? Because it thinks it's root right now, so. Should I not do fake root if I just do first stage? And I need to set the architecture. How do I set the architecture in a Docker file?
You
I think it's in the.
cannot, I mean, you can cross build, but you cannot run like containers of other architecture
Um,
without using QEMU.
you can't. Well, yeah, but using QEMU you can, and BuildX I think will run QEMU for you automatically, right? So you can do it that way with Docker BuildX. I have, yeah. Let me if I. But that's going to be how I invoke it, not here. But it's interesting. All you do is add, and it puts the rootfs in there. I think the rootfs I want. I don't know that I need fake root. I don't know that I need the variant fake root. If I just do stable, because I'm going to. Yeah, this is meaningless. So I should be able to need to create a cross-platform builder. Create let's give it a name. Set yep, Linux ARM64. Of course, this requires you to have a Docker build set up, right? So this doesn't translate great to running in Docker.
Yeah, I mean, DI and the Docker and Docker containers probably do have it set up.
Yeah, when we have for the Docker and Docker, we should be able to do this okay. Um, yeah, that would have handled that. Oh, it jumped. Uh, um, which it said cannot. I don't care about that. Do bootstrap. Where's the can only run as root? Okay. I think a simple fake root should do that. I don't think I need to do the fake chroot because here instead of doing the fake chroot, I'm using the Docker container to do the chroot. So it's just a little bit more than a regular chroot. That's its containerized chroot along with the QEMU because BuildX will run QEMU. Yeah. I don't want to repeat that. I hate Docker. Create if it doesn't exist. Yeah, let's say append, so it just oh, my tar was wrong. Now, was it complaining about Docker? Hmm? Whatever.
Uh, Something might have created a Docker socket.
Yeah, how do I just remove a node instead of changing it? I just want it to do it once. How about I just delete it every time? How do I delete? I want to remove all because I don't know. Who cares if it fails? No output specified with Docker container driver. Build result will only remain in the build cache. Oh, yeah. So I should have named the what I built. Build. How do I name it? Label. Do you name it with a label?
I think so.
Yeah, it
I
confuses
mean,
me
I
because some
have.
things it uses name, some things it uses label. And we want to call
Oh yeah, I think
this.
it's tag actually, not even label. I mean, for Podman build, it's tag.
So Docker container. Because it didn't out. The way it did this now with BuildX, it didn't output the hash. What did it do with all my other containers? Weird. Can't remember if it's one. Can't remember which of these is one dash 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 rm dash it. No. RM is a single dash and no. Unknown flag RM. Docker run. Hate Docker. Hate it. All right. So why does it still say it requires a fake root environment to be started? I mean,
Maybe because we used fake chroot first time at.
but I didn't. I deleted that version.
Uh,
Well, my permissions are wrong. That's ugly. When I tart it, did I use the wrong? Invalid user root. That's great. Read-only file system. Oh, sys. That makes sense. Okay. Um, It's interesting. App. No, app's not working right. Apt is working somehow. Ish. Not really. Yeah, alright. You still there with me?
yeah. There's a lag in
Sure, I
between
know you
the
can't really
stream
see
and
my
whatever.
screen. Yeah, I know you can't really see my screen. Um,
Okay.
so I
Yeah,
just,
app does not work.
yeah. Um, cat works. Just always used to having VI, so second stage only required. Can I just wipe out this thing that's telling me that it needs fake root?
Uh, I mean, for experimentation, sure. Eh, Out of box.
Um, so it's in the Debian common. Do I have .vi? Do I have nano? Uh, what editor do I have? Got sed. Could just re-edit it and rebuild the container. Um, doing variant. So maybe that's just because. Oh, so it's just because I set that flag. Okay. No dash foreign. I didn't set the flag. So dash foreign
Uh,
must automatically set fake true variant. Oh, that wasn't good. You there? Hello.
yeah,
Oh, okay, good. I stepped on my headphones and I was afraid they were broken. Um, do bootstrap foreign? So why would it? So whatever that variant is,
in the
variant.
script there is like some weird checks for containers as well. Um, Maybe there is another way to build inside containers.
Ah, what's the B build variant?
Yes.
Or build B build. Great. The wiki page doesn't even have the.
Yeah, it's pretty bare bones.
There's a C implementation of Debootstrap.
It's maintained by the Deepin community team, I think.
The what community?
As Deepin OS is some there's the Deepin desktop environment, but I don't really know much about it. It's a Chinese Linux distro, I think.
Why is there no documentation on the Bootstrap? on the Bootstrap wiki page. So you're pretty much stuck with the man page, which...
I mean, I think it's better to just actually look at the bash script than even the man page for the most part.
Yeah. Bbuild, which installs the build essential package. Okay, so that has more than what we want. Minbase, only the essential packages and apt. So we could do a Minbase variant, but all right, I'm just gonna remove. Oh, we can test fake root. Did I set that variable? Test. Setting fake root to false doesn't help because something's setting it. Strange, because it looks like the error is coming from the environment variable being set.
It's supposed to be set by fake root command itself.
Yeah, and you
It
can...
might just be some kind of flag that they are using internally, which is set by something else.
Do I want it to be true? Okay, I can set it to true to fake it out. I misunderstood which setting it was supposed to be. So yeah, if you just set the environment variable to true, it seems to happily move about its business. So tar,
Okay,
I need to
yeah.
do tar-p, right? So in order to preserve
Uh,
the ownership and permissions.
Man,
So I thought it did it by default. It kept the permissions the same.
yeah, dash P seems to be the option default for super user.
Oh, it's
I
default,
guess.
but because I'm not super user, it didn't do it. Okay, now I got it. I'm usually doing it with sudo, so that's why I thought it was the default. All right, so I can, once in here, run fake root equals true. Debootstrap second stage in my Docker file, and that should actually give me a working system. So it's using Docker build, but maybe I can extract these commands into... Well, you can't do it into GitLab because it needs a starting container. So I mean, because like if you want to do like um, a what do you call it? A GitLab runner. Like so, if a GitLab runner is in a Docker container itself, you could potentially, well, you could extract a tarball, but I don't know if how the permissions would go. If you extracted the tarball there, and then, but it wouldn't be in the root directory, right? It's going to make it in a /build directory. But can you just overwrite? You can't. Yeah, I don't know what the GitLab runner CI copies into the running container, so I don't know that you can just do like a scratch container inside of a GitLab runner.
Yeah, I don't think you can do scratch container. Uh, I mean, there are what tail runners they call it, which exist, but that's different from the Docker runners, which we normally use.
Runner support for scratch container images. The current CI jobs require grep and sh. Um, was at least a consideration a couple months ago. Um, with steps. This is something we'll address with steps. That sounds like a feature they're working. I don't know. All right. So it's still running second stage, but it seems to be doing it fine. All right, now I've got a container. Let me do my Yasib thing. Um, where did I extract the? Yeah. So I can do. I wonder if I should have done fake root for the tar. Maybe that. That's what I did before to extract it.
Is that needed?
Um, is it needed? I don't know if the fake root's needed or not. I don't think so because I think my permissions in my rootfs. Oh, no, my rootfs permissions are all wrong because I did the bootstrap. Yeah, my permissions are all wrong in my right now. So I think I still need. I did fake root to bootstrap. I didn't do the fake root in the tar. So when I did the fake root to Bootstrap, it looks like it didn't actually set the permissions to root, maybe because I don't actually have the permissions to do that. So it looks like I do need to do it in the tar. And in the Docker file, so in the Docker file, I can do the run here. I can do the building of I don't know, calling it runnable rootfs for now. Because I can, did I name this one? How do I name an existing, I don't know, I just need to do this again. Oh, but the permissions are going to be wrong. It's running okay, but the permission files I think should all be wrong. All right. So I'm going to push this up to where do I want to push this little experiment up to? Try to wrap this up, but I've at least got to the point where some steps using Docker instead of using mounts.
Yeah.
And then we should be able to run inside the container. And then there's still a need to kind of use, I think, GenImage, right? If you look at my Yasib thing, I don't know if you've seen, did I get you the link to the Yasib thing? Maybe I should just put this in that project.
Yeah, I think that would be the best place for now, I guess, at least until it gets like usable enough.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about like putting it in anything like upstream, run it without it running. I mean, there's a challenge in making things bootable here. Like producing
Yeah.
the disk image. You know, we still need to like
So,
run all of Robert's customizations, but you should be able to run those in the container. Maybe what I should, yeah, maybe I should add inside a build job something that actually I don't know, runs a bit more customization steps, but so I've got it.
I
So
mean,
using Docker export though, we should be able to get the rootfs back out again. So that's what are you saying?
yeah. So I do have a question. We build inside Docker and then we export the whole container, right? So the nights. Oh, Robert is here, I guess.
Oh, is Robert here? Or what do you?
Uh, I just got a message. Yeah, this is a nice setup. Something from Raspberry Pi team. Is it related to image building? I'm not sure.
Sorry, what are you talking about?
Uh, in the private channel, Robert sent a link for Raspberry Pi image specs.
Uh,
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I know that I want to get rid of loop mounts. Docker and Docker is not the best thing in the world, but um,
We can at least use it in our CI directly without, I mean, at least in one container.
and that should, if anybody has Docker, they should also be able to reproduce it on their desktop. So
Yeah.
that's critical to me. Um, all right, let me add this into the Yasib project. Right now I'm still running the second stage to make sure um, I've got the commands right and it produces a nice runnable image. Does it clean up after itself? I wonder. Um,
I did see an RMRF temp directory somewhere.
I think if we build our images with Docker, I think it's just going to be so much easier. No output specified with Docker container driver. But I did a label. What's no output specified with Docker container. Build result will only remain in the bill of cache. I'm not sure what that means. It's got a label, right? So I should be able to run it.
Maybe it's not label, but rather tag that we need to do.
Tag. That's a build argument.
It is in Podman build. I'm not sure about the buildx.
I wonder if it's in the cache, if it works. No output specified. No output specified. What is that? Ah. So it didn't give it a name. 38 minutes ago? That's old, right? Yeah, it doesn't have it. It's just in the cache. Alright. -T is tag. Name and tag. But I did --tag. All right, I don't. Um, I don't want to push. I just want it locally stored. No output specified. Warning: no outputs. Docker container driver. Output type equal Docker. -- load. What does that mean? So it builds it without putting it into a Docker container? Weird. All right, but now I've got multiple layers, so if I do export, I don't think it works. I think I have to squash the layers before I can do export.
Yeah.
But I can't. I should at least be able to run it now. Docker run. Um, what do I call it? All right, I've got. I'm running a foreign container, and it seems to permissions are wrong. Yeah, hopefully I've get that fixed with the fake root, but the permissions are indeed wrong. And it did clean up the bootstrap. It's got VI and it runs. It's got an OS release. It looks like a reasonable starting root file system. apt-get works. All right. Yeah, I need to. I don't think it'll extract right away. Let me look at that right now. What did I call it? Okay, so it needs to be a container, not an image, in order to export it.
Yeah, that might be true. Man, yeah, it needs to be a container.
How did I do this? Docker export. So you should just be able to do like a Docker create, is that right? So create, we'll create the container out of the image. It looks like the extract works, so I should just be able to do a create and then extract.
Yeah, I can see it now.
But I don't know what to. How do you? Why doesn't it name when you do Docker create? It just gives
You
it a
need.
hash, right? Is there a way to give it not a hash, like a name?
I think there is the name flag for the name.
All right, let's use dash dash
Podman
name. Ah,
create help. Let's see. Is there a name? Yeah, / name repeat.
uh, um, do I just remove the rootfs? Let's just call it. Start builder platform. Okay, so now I need to do the. I need to say platform. And image. Dare I run this all back to back once to. What did I call this project initially? Oh man. Custom Debian. Oh, I didn't mean to call it that. I just want it to be called rootfs. It's fine. Runnable rootfs. And rm-f. Do you think it knows how to export with -x? We'll see.
Export what?
Oh, Docker export, right? It can export to
Okay.
a tarball, right? Because I'm um, trying to extract this back to a tarball.
Yeah. So I do have a question. The reason we need debroot, whatever it is, deb bootstrap, right? Yeah. So the reason we need to do that to create the rootfs instead of just starting with a Debian container and like exporting the whole container itself without like generating any other special rootfs is because the container does not have the Linux kernel by default, right?
I don't think so. No, I think adding the kernel is not the big deal. I mean, because you can like the Bootstrap doesn't install a kernel.
So in that case, wouldn't it be fine to start like from Debian container image and just export that? Like, what's the difference? That's what
Um,
I'm asking.
yeah, I mean, it's it's kind of the way of creating a clean rootfs. Like if you did it by a Docker container, who's building the Docker container? Like provenance is the only reason I know. Like because you're fetching from Debs into an empty root file system. Debs is the way Debian is delivered, not Docker. So it's provenance.
Yeah, but the deb bootstrap script actually does not do any SHA verification or anything for the most of the packages.
But you can. It does. I mean, you can set the like it's going to use the certificates. I think it can check the certificates, right? I think there's ways
Uh,
to do the provenance there that's not available to you in Docker. I don't know how they build the Debian images themselves in Docker Hub. Um, but I mean, if you trust the provenance of Docker Hub, right, you should be able to just grab a bookworm image. Um, um, how do they do it? So they do a rootfs scratch add rootfs. But how do they build their rootfs? Is it just a tarball?
I'm pretty sure they're building it using deb bootstrap and just bringing the rootfs to the container like we saw in that particular tutorial.
A 28 megabyte file in their Git repo. And who is this guy? Deburio type? Yeah, it's a tarball, and there's no provenance, right? It's maintained by a couple of Debian developers, right? And like it's just with if you use the Bootstrap, right? Um, you know where it's coming from. I would trust better using the Bootstrap
Yeah,
ourselves.
it's better definitely, but I was just thinking if we had have a way to just like generate rootfs from Docker containers and we have a tutorial for it, right? It does not need to be the default way.
Yeah, well, yeah, I
Uh,
agree. I agree. You shouldn't make other people do it. I think they should be able to start
yeah,
from a Debian container. That's why I started the Yosip thing, right?
yeah,
Um, but we need a cleaner way to install the kernel. Right now, the kernel install mechanism is a disaster. Right? We should just be able to apt-get install a kernel, um, and there's post-int steps that like have dependencies on what the system is, right? We should have those post-int steps that install our kernel. Um, and maybe that's a little cleaner than I think it is, but it doesn't feel like it. Oh, did I not name it right? Um, yeah, I mean, we should be able to, in a container, to specify install image, but there are some limitations of the kernel needs to have things in the boot partition, and so you have to have that mounted. Um, so that's um, like if we can run the post-inst steps, if we can do like a pre-install and a um, and then run the gen image on top of it, right? Or just because we could just copy the
Yeah.
files, like we could just kind of manually copy the files out in a script, which is how I'm doing it in the build SD um, shell script, right?
Yeah.
I'm fetching Debian packages, but I should be able to fetch them out of the root file system. All right, I should be able to have a root file system, do an apt-get install if it's a Debian image. The problem is I don't even know, like with my script right now, I don't even know that I'm necessarily installing against the Debian image. You should be able to do in a Docker container an apt install of a kernel image. It should, what I'd call, successfully fail to run the postinst. Right, the postinst shouldn't cause it to die. It should go ahead and install it into the root file system, and then we should be able to copy it out of the root file system into the boot file system. Does that make sense? Is am I
Yeah.
I'm just plathering, I guess, but
Yeah, it makes sense.
um,
I just think it's a very interesting way to use Docker for building it. Uh, Even like this particular setup we currently have now, like it, I haven't seen something similar used before, so it's new for me.
okay. Oh, this is so weird. I'm getting a unable to find image locally and pull access denied. But it should be, I should have built this image, to build strip image.
Maybe you can do Docker images list to see if it's present.
I've got no images. It's, where did my images go?
Do we need to specify something to save them?
It's so weird because I have, like, is something killing my images? I should have a bunch of Docker containers.
Okay,
And when I
someone is
asked for
asking
my,
about Bluetooth,
how about what?
about BLE support on BCF uh, and how it's failing
Oh
in
yeah,
Zephyr.
yeah. What do you know about it? Who's asking? Oh, that's not on the. They're not asking that on the stage. Oh, I thought.
Yeah, it's on the Beagle Connect Freedom channel.
All right, I'm gonna push all of this to Yasub. I don't instead of making. I don't know if I'll make a custom. I'll push it up to one, and share it
Yeah,
in the Yocto. But I think that yeah. Anyway,
maybe in the big Open Beagle channel,
Open Beagle is supposed to be more about the server, but I can.
in the dev channels, then
Yeah, I
yes.
think it might be the dev channels. Um, all right, I'll try to bring the discussion into the Discord. All
Yeah,
right, shutting down the live stream.
yeah,
All right, bye.
but
And oh, OBS.